Hi, it's me, iPhong from the futures of this video. So mostly what you will see in this video is me talking in the present by the time you are watching these videos. But yeah, I forgot to announce before this video started that I got a haircut again, but not kind of the haircut that I was shaved before I'm going back to USA and studying abroad again after the summer breaks. Even though it's a real long summer break for me, and I need to explain a little bit because of the reason why I have this such a long summer breaks. It's just in long story short, I don't have the subjects that are related to my majors in the 4 quarters based on USA. In Vietnam we got it that semester the first, and it just you basically study everything in Vietnam, but in USA you just only pick the subjects that based on the majors, and I don't have that subject, so I have to wait for winter quarter, which in Vietnam we're going straight into the second semesters of the years. So yeah, and that's the only thing that I need to explain before this video started. I got haircuts, but not kind of the bald head haircuts, because I'm going on the plane and the security guard will check my ID, and just in case and that in the ID I got long hairs and I need to trying to be dressed formal in the airport, so I don't want to get into troubles. And yes, and next week I'm going back to USA, but not to college yet. It's still the break for me, and we are going to have a good Merry Christmas and Happy New Year 2020s. Yes, it's kind of early, it's still 2019, but I just want to say Merry Christmas to you guys and girls, and I wish you all having good holidays. And for now, roll the intro. Hey yo, what's up? My name is iPhong and welcome back to iSunday, or just me talking about what's going on around me. So last week I been to a mini meetup in a coffee shop, and I met a lot of Vietnamese OSU players, and most of them are my online friends, and some are not, but anyway, they just asking for mutual and just add friends anyway. It was fun, and I got a chance to play in front of other people who love the same games, OSU games, and I feel relieved because I got a chance to show the people that I am not a cheaters. When I went into a coffee shop, is where the mini meetup take place, and lots of people are asking me the same question. Why do I ride a bike? Why don't you ride a motorbike? Is he really tired for riding a bike for over an hour? I honestly talked about this before, but I have never actually put this topic in the individual videos, so I decided to take you slow by talking about what benefit bikes had and what is disadvantage of motorbike has. Number 1, bikes are more sportier than motorbikes. I want to talk about generals on people's mostly riding scooters. It just basically have bikes and have motorbikes, and in Vietnam scooters are really popular, and they work like motorbikes, but they have the feet to crank it up, and you just ride a bike more. But of course people are just kind of lazy, and people just only control their upper body to turn right or turn left. It just not do any good for you. You need to ride a bike to do some exercise. Well, especially when you're playing games at home all day, especially when you're being a couch potato sitting in a couch watching televisions. every single day, and you just don't go outside being introvert, and you just feel super unhealthy, you need to do some sport. You need to ride a bike. Why not start with 15 minutes? When you get better on endurance, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, and that's it. The best I can ride bike so far is an hour and a half, and it's just only based on the condition. If I have a mood, or based on the weather, because right now in Vietnam it's super hot and it's humidity, and we are being affected on air pollutions, and it's just uncool. Which, talking about the second benefit, bikes are more safer than motorbikes. Talking in general, motorbikes, scooters, and cars, trucks, ferry, they produce a lot of toxic gas, and they bring out in the air and letting people have to smell it, and it just feel uncomfortable. And right now there's a majority of Vietnamese people have to deal with wearing masks, not just one mask, just they wearing two masks, because it just really unhealthy, because motorbikes produce toxic gas and it just harm your skin too, and then it's harm your breathing, and it just feeling super unhealthy. And what the bikes produce, just your muscle. They produce your muscle, and then it's just getting more healthier, and you don't need to worry about a thing. I just want to talk more about how bikes are safer than motorbikes, and motorbikes, scooters, and cars, and trucks, ferry, they be affected by laws. And if you're disobeying the laws when you go on traffic, you're gonna lose some money, or maybe if you murder someone by causing an accident, you may end up in jail. And what the bikes does follow just a little bit, but when you got a bike accident, it doesn't does much of the impact, which leads me having a bike accident before, and I did got injured really bad on my left knees and my right ankles, and it just takes a few weeks to recover, and you're safe. But if you're having a truck accident or car accidents, it's just simply you go straight one way ticket to heaven. Bikes actually does a little bit of effect on laws, because a lot of people who do stunts, and then we don't do bike stunt on the streets, but if you does and you got caught on CCTV camera, or policemen see you doing a bike stunt in front of them, you're just gonna lose some money. And basically, and one more thing, when you are having alcohol when you're riding a bike, also you're just losing money instead. Bike doesn't do much of the law's impact, but if you want to do some stunts with your bike, you can do it in the park instead. And motorbikes, not much in the parks, and the place only for motorbike is on the street, and you have to affect on laws a lot when you go on traffic. I really want to tell you guys on my bike accidents, which I'm having a full story on it. And yeah, I know it's gonna lead to other topic, but it's gonna be quick because it's basically really short story. So when I riding a bike which is near the sidewalk, there's another motorbike which travel really fast, and they just pass all of the other vehicles. I can say it was a he riding a motorbikes and carrying some goggles and trying to deliver somewhere, I don't know. But and then he crashed a little bit on my left side, and then it doesn't pain on my shoulder, but it just making me feel off balance, and then I just having a scratch on my left knees, and with my right ankles, which is got stung on the bike cranks. But actually I do have my own phone as well, because before the accident happened I tried to scratch my right and leg, so because it's really itchy after I having part-time jobs in the fish markets, and of course my lower body getting dirty. I really need to get shower fast, and it's unfortunately bad stuff happens. And yeah, benefit number 3, bikes are actually cheaper than motorbikes. Motorbikes, scooters, cars, you guys already know, it's actually more expensive than bikes in Vietnam. But in Western country, a lot of people using sport motorbikes, and which is make motorbikes are much more expensive than cars. So it makes people are wondering, why is no one talk about how cheap bikes are? When you basically want to have bikes for yourself, asking your parents to buy bikes for you, and you just ride bikes. It's much more cheaper than you riding motorbikes, and you don't need to worry about things. And there's one more thing about motorbikes: you need to study on how to ride motorbikes properly, as well you have to study on how to ride a cars properly to get a driving license, because you don't want to disobey the law. You need a driving license if you want to ride a motorbike and cars. But if you don't, you lose some money. But if you don't have enough money to pay the fine, you end up going to jail. And you even have your vehicles hooked up with trucks, and you are not going to ride motorbikes or cars anymore. Maybe permanently, or maybe a few months. But yes, which I did talk earlier, that bikes is actually safer than cars and motorbikes. And what bikes need is no need driving license. All you have to do is just ride freely, and that's it. And which I need to bring up one more thing, that when you're going to parking lots, you need to pay for motorbikes and cars. And what the bikes needs in some small shopping mall, in some small coffee shop, in some mini marts, they park for free. You don't need to pay for parking, but they still have security check and make sure that you get the right vehicle. And you don't need to worry about things. I think that's it for the reason why I like bikes more than motorbikes. So I really want to give you a conclusion so you don't get stuck in the middle video. So benefit number 1 for bikes is more sportier than motorbikes or cars or scooters. You just simply using your muscle to do some sport every single day. And what the motorbikes do, it just control your fingers. You don't just have your feet still and try to balance yourself. You just don't do any sports. Benefit number 2 is bikes is actually safer than cars and motorbikes and trucks. And bikes doesn't affect on much on the laws. And of course you need driving license for motorbikes and trucks and cars, or else you get into trouble. And the last thing for the benefits of using a bikes, and is actually cheaper than cars and scooters and motorbikes. You don't need to waste much money on paying gas for motorbikes and paying gas for cars every single month. Bikes is that you only need to just having an air gas inside your tire, and that's it. And anyway, guys, I hope you understand on why I like bikes more. And to be honest, at the end of the day, I hate motorbikes. Of course, you don't need to hate cars, because sometimes cars are really useful for delivering cargoes or ambulance, for saving people, police car for doing criminals, and they have gas control, and they have to make sure that the gas doesn't produce a lot of air pollutions. And I understand policemen and policewomen are really nice persons, nurse, doctor, really nice person, firefighters, really nice person as well. So they need to make sure on the gas quality that they don't cause a lot of air pollution. But for motorbike, not so much on doing some missions that are related on military or saving people's scooters. Of course, for schoolgirls and schoolboys, please, you need to ride a bike for doing some exercise every single day when you go to school, when you go to your workplace. And if you do have a scooters, why not ride a bike instead, or ride your scooters by using a bike crank. That's it. You don't need to use a key to turn on your scooters and using your machine to work for you instead. And for motorbikes, please, maybe you just prevent riding a motorbike so much. If you want to have vacations, why not using a motorbike instead? Just go far away using your motorbikes or your cars. You don't need to using your motorbikes or cars every single day for workplace. It's just not healthy for the environment. So yeah, that ends up this video that I like bikes more than motorbikes, and I hope you guys understand. And when I get used to riding bikes for a real long period of time, I get used to it, and I feel more healthier than ever. And I don't need to waste for any gas on riding a bikes. It just leave big amount of money when you pay for air gas for your tires. And the last thing, when you go into parking lots, you just basically can have your security check for free. You don't need to worry about parking with your motorbikes and cars, and that's it. You're safe. And as always, I hope you understand, and hasta la vista.